Welcome to Frogtoons' first Q&A. You had some questions for me concerning myself or the channel, and you shall receive answers. What's my favorite cartoon? I have thought about this question many times before, and many of you can probably relate to the feeling of inability to choose an absolute favorite show. I think Avatar: The Last Airbender and Amphibia score pretty equally, because both of them are all-rounders that deliver everything a good show should have, and I can't remember them having a single bad episode. Additionally, Adventure Time will always hold a special place in my heart because it's basically the show that got me seriously interested in cartoons. What are some cartoons I enjoy that aren't well known? There are definitely several shows I recommend watching covering different genres. If you are into experimental stuff, you should watch The Midnight Gospel. It's about a dude entering simulations of other worlds where he interviews the inhabitants. The show consists of dialogue for the most part that ranges from the totally absurd to super deep philosophical discussions. Besides that, I'm not sure if it counts as not well known, but in my opinion, Kipo and the Age of Wonder Beasts never got the hype it deserved. The characters are all written so well, and the show as a whole just feels unique. It's set in a world where mutants have forced humanity to flee under the Earth's surface, and it tells the story of how Kipo accidentally winds up on the surface. What's my favorite video game? That's without doubt the Zero Escape series. The games are a combination of a graphic novel and escape the room puzzles. Each of the three titles has a captivating story. Basically, it's about people being abducted and forced to compete against each other in order to leave the building where they are trapped, while also dipping into topics like time travel and alternate universes. The player regularly gets to make choices so that the games can have up to 22 different endings. What is my video making process like? Well, first of all, while watching the relevant episode, I take some notes that I use to write the script. When I finish putting down all my ideas, I usually go through the script once more to correct my grammar and make the sentences sound more natural. Then I record the audio track using Audacity, followed by 1 or 2 hours of audio editing, like cropping out the times my tongue slipped, noise cancelling, etc. If I'm making a video on a new show for the first time, I continue by drawing the character icons I'll need. So next I go to Miro.com and screen record how I create the concept map, timeline, or whatever suits the content best. Lastly, the screen recording needs to be edited. I use DaVinci Resolve to cut out all the mistakes I made, to time the video according to the audio, and to add sound effects and music. Now all that's left is putting together a compelling thumbnail on Canva.com, and the video is ready to be published on Frogtoons. What do I think is the strangest animal alive? An animal that has always freaked me out is the shoebill stork. It's actually not that strange, because it doesn't possess like a weird skill or anything, you just feel super uncomfortable looking at it. What made me start the channel? I actually started out as a cartoon meme account on Instagram. Some of you who've been around from the very start probably remember. Well, I did that for a few months, but I realized that instead of making memes only, I wanted to talk about the shows I like more deeply. So ultimately, I ended up transferring my content to YouTube. What's my favorite animation of all time, and what's my favorite animation from 2018 to 2021? Including stuff other than cartoons, then I guess One Piece is my all-time number one, because I've been watching it for basically all my life now. Next to Amphibia, of course, the best animated piece of content from the past few years is Infinity Train, I think. Would I use flex tape to fix a cracked windshield? No, but I do use flex tape to fix my broken heart. How did I discover Amphibia, and what were my expectations going into watching the series for the first time? Well, in 2019, The Amazing World of Gumball had just ended, and I was looking for something to fill the emptiness in my heart. And that's when I stumbled upon Amphibia. I definitely did not expect the show to turn into such a masterpiece story-wise, but I immediately liked the art style and the general feel of the show, so I expected to have a pretty enjoyable time. Obviously, the whole living with frogs matter also made for some promising comedy. What is my favorite Amphibia episode? Concerning the story, Marcy at the Gates was the best episode in my opinion, because without revealing in any way what was going to happen, the episode clearly told the viewer that a great story arc is coming. In addition to that, I loved how genuinely happy Anne was to see Marcy again. Which Amphibia character do I relate most to? I'm convinced you all noticed by now that I'm a big Marcy fan, and that's at least partly because I strongly recognize myself in her. I'm a huge nerd for cartoons, anime, games, etc. and I easily get obsessed with my interests. I also receive many questions concerning the story of Amphibia, but I'm going to answer those in a separate video. I hope you got all the answers you wanted. The next video will have theories again. See you next time.